Very good friends, Doc South here, and yet another episode of Millie's Itinerary. Uh, basically, a bit of actually a fairly long story, 35,000 words long, that I wrote to basically chronicle a day in the life of our basset hound, Millie. Millie Q Hound. Yeah, Q stands for Queen. Queen Hound. Yeah, she runs the house with an iron paw. And I thought you might find this fun if I read this for you over the next it's going to take a month or two to get it all done. And we're still early in the day. It's only 8:55 in the morning when we take up our adventure. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah, you got your coffee? Yeah, I got mine. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Mmm. Yes. Okay, here we go. Millie's Itinerary, 8:55 a.m. That beautiful breakfast of chicken cordon bleu that I've prepared for Her Royal Highness is still sitting untouched on her plate. Negotiations are in progress, though. For Millie, eating the meal I've created is currently off the table. The talks are at a standstill. Millie has the upper hand and has turned her rump to the breakfast plate. She's back to watching the news. She's watching the highlights from last night's Mets game. Me, I'm on all fours, pretending that if Millie won't have her breakfast, I will. That kind of ploy always worked on other dogs. It drove our first Basset Hound Roxy out of her mind to even suggest that down on all fours I'd snitch even one tiny little nugget of kibble. Millie somehow knows better. She'll look over her shoulder at me and snort. Then she goes back to watching her show. Excuse me. Excuse me. Getting over a cold. The newscasters are almost done with the day's wrap-up as I'm coming out of the kitchen with an armload of incentives. On the tube, they're running some public service announcement for animal rescue. Millie has seen this one before, so she turns to face me. She wants to see what tributes I brought to the negotiating table. Like a merchant in an ancient bazaar, I unlock the treasure chest that I've brought. Sandy keeps this really good peanut butter towards the back of our pantry shelf. The stuff's not cheap and it's hard to find. Millie usually gets the generic peanut butter when it's on sale. Funny, but she knows the difference between the two brands. Sometimes just a little dab of the good stuff spread onto a chunk of chicken does the trick. Today, Millie sniffed at the very edge of the peanut butter blob. Things were looking good, but then her right upper lip curled in disdain, and she sat back on her fanny and gave out with a muted, under-her-breath kind of bark. It's kind of a... Like, yeah, just that? Yeah, okay. I let it be. It was still early in the negotiations. I had more than enough firepower in my satchel full of tricks. This time I brought a nice fresh day-old cookie out into the light of day. Raisins are bad for dogs, so I got busy picking the raisins out of the cookie. I had Millie's attention. Forbidden fruit. I know. The oatmeal cookie ploy often works quite well. You see, what I do is I plop the raisins into my mouth with a big loud chewing and stuff. Yeah, the part of the cookie without the raisin gets put on top of her breakfast as a garnish. Doing that makes Millie think that if she doesn't act fast, I'll eat most of the cookie before she can. Most dogs simply can't stand that kind of pressure and start chowing down before their human gobbles down everything right from under their noses. Most dogs aren't Millie. She doesn't crack. She still has that let's make a deal look all over her face. I'm getting desperate. I am. The bottom of the bag of tricks is starting to shine through. Right now I've got more sleeves than tricks. I make a thing of reaching down into the bag all the way up to my elbow. Millie's watching her head with her head kind of cocked. You know how dogs do? Yeah, she's got her head cocked to the left. She hears the crackle of cellophane. That got her attention. Her head now turns to the side even further. Yeah. There's a glint in her eyes. I crinkle the cellophane even more. I'm praying that I'm not going to run out of crinkles. To a hound, cellophane covers the stuff that dreams are made of. With a flourish not unlike a magician yanking a rabbit out of a top hat, I bring my last gift to the light. It's a fortune cookie. It was left over from a Chinese takeout order that Sandy and I had about a week or so ago. Millie sniffs the air. She's got more than her share of that. She got more of that her share of that meal than we did that day. Its aroma must have lingered on the cookie cellophane. Don't laugh. I think hounds can tell. Yeah, for a 2-week-old scent, no problem. Most of Millie tried to stay cool under the negotiation. Try as she might, though, her tail gave her away. It started wagging. The barking soon started. She was under my power. I unwrapped the cookie and crumpled it onto the breakfast mound as Millie danced from paw to paw. Luckily, I got my hand out of the way as she dove for the plate. The food didn't stand a chance. Counting my fingers to make sure they were all there, I figured that it might be a good idea to order some more Chinese soon. All right. Well, there you go, friends. Again, that's Millie's itinerary. This time, I think 8:55 in the morning. Let me check my. Yeah, let's synchronize our watches here. Yeah, 8:55 in the morning. We got more to come. Plenty more. All right. We'll see. The day's just beginning. Yes. The torture will resume tomorrow. We'll see you later. Bye now, and thank you. God bless.